The Democratic field in the race to replace outgoing Senator Gary Peters is narrowing less than 1 month before the primary. Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow announced yesterday she is suspending her campaign.
Today, I'm announcing that I am suspending my campaign for United States Senate. And I'm doing it with a deep, deep sense of gratitude.
McMorrow's decision leaves Congresswoman Haley Stevens and Dr. Abdul El Sayed, a former health director for the city of Detroit, to fight it out for the Democratic nomination. CBS News political director Fin Gomez joins us now. Fin, good to see you, my friend. So why did McMorrow drop out, and where does support stand for the Democrats still left in the race?
Vlad, good morning. And that's really the big question here. McMorrow's exit dramatically reshapes this race. She really didn't cite one specific reason, Vlad, but she had been struggling to gain traction as the contest increasingly became a two-way fight between Congresswoman Haley Stevens and former Michigan health official Dr. Abdul El Sayed, who has risen in the polls in recent weeks. Stevens is backed by much of the Democratic establishment, while El Sayed has consolidated support from the party's more progressive wing, including endorsements from Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. He has also campaigned with controversial left-wing streamer Hassan Piker. But the big question now is, where does McMorrow supporters go in the final stretch ahead of the August 4th primary in what's become one of the top, one of the Democrats' most closely watched Senate primaries, a must-win for Democrats if they want to flip the Senate November. McMorrow, who has been running as a progressive, El Sayed hopes her supporters will shift to him. But Stevens has been focused more on electability in the general election versus Republican Mike Rogers. So those supporters, in speaking to some Michigan Democrats, believe are more up for grabs than is believed. And that's the big question as we head in to tomorrow's, Tuesday's debate between those two. Vlad.
And also want to ask you about this, the president making some divisive comments this weekend. Let's take a listen first, and we'll get your reaction after.
Communism is a mortal threat to American liberty. It is the greatest threat to our country, including World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, or even 9/11. Communism is a loser, and it always will be. The communist system is the opposite of the American system, and the communist system has never worked.
So you note there, Finn, he called Democratic Socialists communists again while speaking from the White House this morning. Talk about why the president is talking about communism right now.
Right. Look, Chanel, I spoke to some people close to the White House who say the White House sees this as both a patriotic message, if you will, and also a political tactic. The president has increasingly argued that some ideas being advanced on the political left of the spectrum amount to socialism or communism, as you continue to hear that phrase, even as you mentioned in the Oval Office today. But he's using that contrast to split next year's midterm elections as a choice between what he calls traditional American values, really MAGA values, if you will, and ideologies, left ideologies that have failed elsewhere along the world. So while this speech was celebrating America's 250th birthday, it also really fits into that sort of his broader political argument the president has been making for some weeks now, as Republicans look to ahead to the midterms, and we do expect this term to be utilized more, Chanel, in the White House's and the right's pitch to voters during this midterm cycles, and could resonate with older voters and baby boomers, and also older Gen X voters who remember living under the Cold War, but it may not hit with younger voters and voters who are really focused on really the top issue of the cycle, which is affordability and economic issues. That's really been the main driver. But we'll see about this impact, and if it does drive their base voters and other supporters to the polls. Chanel?
All right. Fin Gomez, always great to have your analysis, my buddy. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, man.